poor Furuta. Wait, what I just said? There are times you believe you are gaining everything that you fought for. However, despite your journey, there's a chance that everything isn't what you truly wanted. Furuta is a perfect example of a man who gained everything, yet gained nothing. It's a different tale of a tragic fate of a man that could have gone differently, but with challenges and limitation, the path can differ. This chapter was gratifying all the way to the end with its intense action, but it's the depth and storytelling behind it that stole the show. Thankfully, I played Unravel while reading this because it complements perfectly with its intensity and emotional driven ride. To begin with, Kaneki has one hell of an upgrade to his Kagane. It forms some sort of cross that can be used like a sword or shield. I have read that they are like symbolism to his sins, hence the cross. So he is carrying the weight of his action and take it on his enemy to protect his loved one. That's wonderfully addressed and believable since Ishida is known to insert this kind of symbol. Before the action kicks off into high gear, the flashback ensues. In a mere of 2 pages, I already felt bad. Ishida is so good at deciphering his character in any perspective. It's not that I will go as far as saying apology accepted, but the mindset of Furuta as a child was already tarnished the moment of realizing that he has not much time to live. Honestly, I was a bit afraid that Ishida dropped this notion since it was only used once for Arima's death, so I'm glad he continues to put it into perspective. Then again, there was V2, but you get what I'm saying. It's a sad scene with Furuta discovering his family tree filled with early deceased members. Tsunoyoshi was seen like a very kind father figure. It's a contrast to what Furuta left me to believe before. Now I don't know what to think of it. On top of that, he even called his ancestor selfish and yet to unravel the mystery of the Washu for Furuta's benefit. This also translates to me that there's more seeds planting for part 3 to happen. There are plenty of mysteries behind the family. We continue to gain snippets and questionable points such as the original One-Eyed King being a Washu, or why is there an underground city? What's more is the confirmation of Kaiko being a half-human. I can't say it's inconsistent yet until we get more information behind V, because how he managed to live long enough to deal with Kuzen before Eto was born. Part of me believed that perhaps the first dragon may have cured him, but it has a time limit, hence why he may be already aware of dragon's perks. It's a theory, but that's Tokyo Ghoul game for you. After Furuta and this arc is dealt with, it leaves tons of space for V and Washu to be explored, addressing all questions in which I doubt Ishida will ignore. Right now, let's only focus one at a time. Furuta came off like an innocent child that wanted to achieve the goals in a hasty manner because his fate was sealed. That's a sad and heavy burden to carry. A mind like that can destroy a child's future before it can even get it started. From there on, the action resumes, and the depth has grown significantly. The damage impact is profound. Furuta's Kagane was cut badly, and soon followed is his arm. It was a sign to me that his days are coming to an end. He goes on a rampage, spamming his Kagane, and monologue nearly all of Kaneki's failures and guilt. It's been a hell of a journey, that's for sure. It's as if Furuta is truly the final boss, noting all of the faults and struggles, preparing gamers that the story is ending. The main key out of his monologue isn't knowing, but discovering. The pattern with Kaneki showing pity is very striking. It's not about him about to pull a shonen protagonist role to forgive him. It's about understanding what Furuta is going through. It's a different path, but a similar suffering. Both of their life is nothing but tragedy one after the next. Even if Furuta is laughing and completing his goals, he can't bear any happiness he should have gained already. His words scream agonizing because of how he lived to see someone else in misery, which can draw a line of watching his own self. Its psychological depth that Ishida truly shined in writing is even more telling when Furuta slowly succumbed to lose his sanity, if he can believe that. After insulting Kaneki, he jots down all of his accomplishments. Only one problem. It's not enough. It's rather depressing because from what I see, I would have awarded him like a Nobel Peace Prize. To him, it's not enough. But to me, it translates to nothingness. How a man with so much achievements can desire to take something from someone who should have nothing in return. That's what makes the story so tragic. It's very effective for Kaneki to not respond. It keeps the tragic focus primarily on Furuta. When he listed Kaneki's failure, he got a pity reaction, like it didn't do anything. When he listed his accomplishment, it only pained him. Kaneki has learned, and Furuta cannot stand the sight of a man who is seen as the protagonist. We are the main character in our own story. Furuta goes to Kaguya and it is freaky as hell. It's like some form of Venom from Spider-Man. This is all or nothing now. The action picks up immensely with series of close calls and devastating strikes. Nothing but raw power with one going insane with the calling of his deep desire. It got crazier when Kaneki got caught by Furuta's Kagane and slammed him hard to the ground. The storytelling has changed, which is why the artwork display of devastation reflects more upon the agony and sorrow. He keeps on pummeling and pummeling and pummeling until he gets what he wanted. It was bone-chilling by this point. Then out comes the ending. As mentioned earlier, the artwork is different when it comes to the action sequence. There is a page that I couldn't understand at first, but I get what was happening later on. Plus, the HQ scans will provide a better result. Even so, that very page is mostly focusing on Furuta's monologue, which is far more important than anything. After that, the action scene is clearer. It tells a depressing story of the two with similar suffering but a different outcome that comes in turn against each other. The beatdown portion is when the art goes full throttle on the emotional breakdown. It's drawn like we were going insane. It's like a certain horror game changed the display whenever the mind or unnatural force haunts you, like Slender Man. So I felt the raw cry from Furuta. The moment he has one small opening, Kaneki takes that chance, and not only has it become the finishing blow, but it becomes the reflection of his true wish that never met the reality. The final 4 pages are truly devastating. The first double-page spread perfectly complements the entire chapter. Furuta is a man that gained everything, yet never felt like he has. That day where his life has sealed with a time limit is what scarred him to take action that would ultimately corrupt the society. The only sight he had that can be everything was in fact Rize. The family image with him and her is truly sad. It's no wonder why he was so broken up when Eto indirectly reminded him of her back in Root Island arc. Furuta was mumbling hateful words, like he really hated her. That's why he went out of his way to crush her in the first chapter and made her as his toy. Was it desperation or revenge? He reminds me of a certain character from Game of Thrones. Chaos is a ladder. If he can't get anything, go for corruption and watch the world burn. The imagery of that one strike reflected his what-if world, but it also means his defeat. The final double-page spread should have been a celebration like, hell yeah, the greatest evil is over. Instead, I found myself deeply awed by the illustration of dramatic finish. It's obvious that Ishida chose this art style to describe the tone and atmosphere. Don't think he drew lines like he lost his grip and call it done. He can draw a clean panel of the finishing blow if he wants, but it's more meaningful with the way how it is here. Simply jarring. This was an outstanding chapter. The action was intense, as it can be, but the depth behind the character is what made it very engaging. Never thought I would be so awestruck by a man who is simply the Joker of the series. It doesn't ask us to forgive since clearly the only path for him is death, and Kaneki could only show pity. Furuta is not dead, but his time is up. How will his final hour go? The time to say farewell is next. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. Supposedly, we have 2 more chapters to go in this volume. I can't guarantee that it will mean that the series is ending right here, but I have a feeling the chance is pretty high. Now, I can be wrong because again, it could spread out to more detail, probably with Rize and the V, but I feel like those moments could be reserved for the next part. Only time will tell. What do you think of the chapter? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.